What's up, Empire? Welcome to another episode of Striking Fury, where we are helping introduce you to this year's newest members of the Strykers squad. Now, in today's episode, we are going to get to know a player who had an impressive performance on the highly entertaining debut of the TST tournament. He grew up in Brazil in the club system, and from there, he played soccer in Europe before coming over to the US and attending Oklahoma Christian University. From there, he made his way to Tennessee and attended the University of Memphis. However, a season ending injury did sideline him in 2019, but he did manage to make a return in 2021 and ultimately played in USL, NISA, and USL 2. Now, most recently, he played with the Jackson, Tennessee Boom in that TST tournament, and it led him to catching the coaching eye of the Strykers, scoring an impressive 5 goals in 3 games. Everyone, please help me in welcoming to the squad, Garrett Blume. Garrett, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me, and thank you for that amazing intro.
Absolutely. Before I start off, I want to say you have an incredible story filled with highlights, frustrations, setbacks. But what I love is that you really have found ways of everything that you've encountered to kind of turn it into a pop and just keep going pursuing your dream. And I think it's such an incredible lesson for anyone out there that's listening. And yeah, I'm excited to get kind of some of the details and talk about your future with this club. And also, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, it's a crazy story, but I'm happy to share it with you guys, and I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. So let's just start from the very beginning where it all started in Brazil, where obviously soccer remains supreme over there. It's kind of what a lot of people grow up kind of aspiring to be. Can you talk to me a little bit about how it came into your life and what really motivated you to want to pursue this as a dream of yours?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I started playing when I was 3 years old. And just like you said, soccer is just like a religion down there. It's the main sport, and all my friends played it, and I just grew up playing it, loved it, and I think just as most kids there, you grow up wanting to be a professional soccer player, and so that's kind of what I worked towards and grew up playing on a lot of different, well, 2 different academy teams there before making my way to Europe and around the world. But yeah, it's a great place to start out. So
I'm assuming the club system and the academy system there runs a little differently than it does here in the US. Can you talk just a little bit about what that was like for you, or how children are exposed to this game at a very young age?
yeah, I think it's just a lot different. Here, you kind of pay to play on these club teams and travel and all that, and in Brazil, it's kind of you have to earn your spot, and then you get paid, growing up, and if you can't make that team, you have to pay to play somewhere else, and so the competition is really hard. I grew up playing with a lot of really good friends. Some of them are playing, in Europe, some in Brazil, everywhere. So it's I think it's helped me to be the player that I am today, but yeah, it's definitely hard to play there.
I assume that you came out of this pretty well with high level talent. I'm sure it's a testament to those academy systems. And hopefully, the US is changing the way that they do things now. I don't know if you've been able to see that, I know you have coached a little and seen them growing up, but hopefully, we're getting to a more competitive system with our youth here. Now, with the help of an agent, you were able to play over in Europe, over in Munich. Can you talk to us a little bit about that experience? Because I know ultimately there were some things that maybe people can learn from your situation from that experience.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I was playing on an academy team in Brazil, and this agent took me and a few other players to this fourth division club in Germany, and it was the first time that I kind of like left Brazil and first time in Europe, and it was to me it was a great experience. I didn't have the best experience with my agent at the end, but I think you can learn and grow from every experience, but just being able to play like a different style. I think Germany was a lot different than Brazil, and the weather was too cold for me, but I had a great experience. It was a lot of fun.
Good, good. Yeah, I read that you are not a fan of the cold weather, so we'll get to some more fun questions around
Yeah.
that here in a little bit. But we're gonna keep moving forward. So at 19, you did what a lot of internationals do, which is continue your career with college here in the U.S. It does give that option for a lot of players, and a really decent one at that. Now, you earned a scholarship to OCU. Talk to me about that time because I know you put a lot of hard work and a lot of effort into making sure that you were able to play over here. And again, that's a testament to your commitment and dedication and perseverance to being able to keep playing this game. That's your dream essentially.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I left Europe and went back to Brazil and tried to play again, but it's once you reach like 17, 18, 19 and you haven't signed with the big club, it's kind of, either time to move on or go somewhere else. So the opportunity came to play in the United States, and OCU offered me a really good scholarship, and that was a great experience as well. Met a lot of great guys, and it was the first time playing, in the United States. So it was a fun experience as well.
Now, I know you probably needed a little bit more of a challenge, and you reached out to some D1 schools and ended up over at the University of Memphis. Can you tell us why you chose the University of Memphis?
Yeah, like you said, I just needed a better challenge. I figured if I wanted to keep playing at the next level, I had to go, face that new challenge and look for new opportunities. So I was in between a couple schools when I was transferring, and I kind of got it down to two schools, and I ended up picking Memphis. I think mainly because the coaches, the way they were talking to me, just seemed like, they just really wanted me and made me feel like I was gonna play a big part in their upcoming season. So that's when I chose Memphis.
How was Memphis for you? I know you've spent a lot of time there. I mean, seems like it's been pretty good to you. I know you were part of, I think it was Magus as the coaching academy there.
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed Memphis? Is it a lot different than Brazil?
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, shout out to Magis. It's yeah, it was a good experience. I mean, my first year in Memphis, unfortunately, like you said, I had that ACL injury. I think it was like our sixth game of the season against St. Louis. So that was tough, but I met a lot of great people there. Had ups and downs, but that, kind of shaped me into the person that I am today. So I'm very blessed to have gone there and met a lot of people there. But definitely ready to head out to California.
Yeah, you kind of touched on that a little bit, your knee injury that sidelined you. But like we said, it did not take you out of the game, which is such a great lesson for everybody. Sometimes it's very hard mentally, more so than physically, to come back from injury. What do you think you learned about yourself during that time? And do you feel that you're a better player and person today in some ways because of that injury?
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, I think it's all mental, that injury, just because you're sidelined for like 9 months and you're, watching your teammates do what you love. But I think it's just you have to take a day at a time and just stay positive and persevere, even, when you're hurting, not just physically, but mentally, and that helps you, be able to face harder challenges when you get done with that injury. So I mean, I'm grateful actually that I got hurt, just because I feel like I grew a lot mentally. But yeah, it was a tough one, but we're past it now. So
That's exactly what you got to do. Like they said, it's, you get knocked out, but you don't get knocked out. And it's, how you come back from those. And you did come back from those. You did manage to be able to play some time in the USL, in NISA, USL2. But I want to know more. So what's the transition from outdoor to indoor been like? I don't know what your experiences with kind of that smaller. I know futsal is very popular in Brazil. So we haven't really touched on if you ever got to play that, but what's this transition been like from like big beautiful outdoor game to this fast-paced kind of smaller turf arena style play?
yeah, I mean, I grew up playing futsal back in Brazil. A lot of like 7v7 games too. So I think it really suits my style of play. I think that tournament was the TST was an opportunity to show that. I had never really played in a tournament here like that in Brazil. I played in a couple, but it's just more fast paced and you have to make decisions quicker and, just touch and go. So it's definitely different. You have less time on the ball as well, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, clearly you enjoy it. Clearly you're really good at it. You scored, like I mentioned, 5 goals in 3 games. Were you surprised by the success of the TST tournament? And really, I mean, was that like a whole lot of fun? Because it looked like a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it was. I mean, I'm already ready for next year, but yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I mean, I'm glad that I got that opportunity. Teammates were awesome. But it was just a really cool experience to play with all those players that, have played all over the place and that are well known. So it was very cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it again already next year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can come down and be part of the media team and really get in there because there's so many
Yeah.
indoor players that were in that tournament. It's like we know all you guys, so we'd love to come out and support you. Now,
Yeah.
talking about skills, like you've mentioned, I mean, it's a fast-paced game. What is it that you think you bring skill-wise to the Empire?
Um, I think a little bit of something different, growing up from Brazil, your touch is just sharper in a different way and just you grew up learning some skills and resources and just the way you protect the ball with your body is a little bit different than here. So I think I can bring that along with good vision and just good presence on the field.
Can't wait for it. It's going to be so exciting. It's fast approaching. And as far as team goals, those are pretty obvious. I mean, always want to for playoffs and spot in the final. But what are some of your personal goals for this season?
um I mean, I have a good friend playing and in MASL right now. He actually played for the Strykers last year and was the rookie of the year. So that would be nice, but kind of just taking a day at a time. I'd, really just take one game at a time, one practice at a time, help out the team, help the teammates, try not to make it about myself, but also, just try and get some goals, assists, but at the end of the day, just help the team in any way that I can.
Perfect. Goals and assists are always nice though. So we'll
Yeah.
take as many of those that you have in your back pocket whenever you're
Yeah.
ready. Now the home opener is on December 15th at Toyota Arena. Give me your thoughts. How are you feeling going into this first home game that's going to be happening? I mean, I don't know what you guys have experienced as far as, being able to practice or get together or any kind of communication you guys have had, but what are your thoughts? Like, how are you feeling? Are you excited?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. Been doing my best to stay in shape. I'm actually not in California right now. I'll get there this weekend. So I'm excited to meet all the teammates and the coaching staff, but I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a good fun season for everyone.
Hopefully for you, this will be one of the highlights we can add to your career. I'm so excited to see you out there. And I know what we saw when we saw you in the TST. And if that's any indication of what we're going to see out there, it's we better put the league on notice for sure. Now, let's move on to some fun questions just to kind of like round this out. A question I've been asking people, but I already know one of the answers that you're not going to like. But you're in California and the weather's perfect. You have the option to do so many things, whether it's skiing on the mountains in the snow, surfing on the water, or hiking the mountains. What would you prefer to do on your day off?
Uh, I'm not a big surfer, but for me, just go to the beach and chill and relax and recharge. I grew up by a beach, so I'll definitely be at the beach a lot. So,
Love that. I figured that the snow skiing on in Big Bear, Lake Arrowhead was definitely not going to be
oh
your
yeah,
choice.
I'll
And
pass on that
I'll
one.
I'll be honest, me either. I'm not a big cold weather person. I would love to be in a hot tub looking at the mountains that are snow covered. That's fine
Yeah,
too.
I can do that.
I could totally do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about some of your soccer related questions. What's your favorite club team, and is there a player growing up that you kind of idolized?
Well, my favorite team is one back home called Internacional. Um, And then I would say my favorite player would have to be Cristiano, just because of his work ethic. I look up to that a lot, and especially like through my injuries and stuff, I don't know, his dedication towards himself and his body and his mindset really helped me push through that as well. So I would say him.
Solid player to look up to. I mean, he's one of the best and greatest
Yeah.
out there. So a great aspiration. Now, interesting questions here. So I'm a big runner. I love to run. I love to do half marathons, full marathons. And I saw somewhere that you ran a half marathon at 3 a.m. up and down a hill. What?
That
Why?
was, that,
Please tell me what's going on there.
that was a dumb idea. I shouldn't have done that. I just I took it off of inspiration from this guy that I follow on Instagram that does that every year, and I don't know how, but I got a couple friends of mine to do it, and I actually got a stress fracture on the bottom of my foot after that, so I was out for like a month. So I don't recommend that, but it was
I would
fun.
not. Yeah, I was gonna say I could have told you that prior to you doing that. It was probably not
Yeah.
a great idea, but still a funny story nonetheless. And then another thing, I don't know if you know this, but our mascot is a mountain lion, which is a big cat. And I saw somewhere where it says you're scared
Oh
of
yeah.
cats. I'm really glad that my three cats haven't come in here and like
Yeah.
tried to take over this interview. I don't know how it would have gone, but when did that all start?
I don't know. Just cats are sketchy. They're dangerous. I don't know, especially black cats. You got to watch out for those.
I have three of them, so
Oh
it's
no.
I know they didn't come in here, so they must have sensed it. So I
Yeah.
mean, you're lucky today, but
Yeah.
all right. So you do have a day off. There's nothing going on. What's something that you want to do? You'd mentioned you'd like to go to the beach and relax, but is that your choice of something that you would do if you had just some downtime to yourself, no obligations, all the time for that day to yourself? What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, like I said, go to the beach. I've gotten into reading a lot over the past couple of years. So reading, hang out with friends, FaceTime my family. I would say those are the three big things that I like to do on my in my downtime.
Oh, I'd love to read a good book. Do you have a certain genre of book that you like to read?
Motivational books.
Figured. I know. I have no doubt. So, all right. Well, before we close it out, is there anything that you would like to say to all of the Empire Striker fans that are watching this right now to get ready for this next season?
Yeah. I just want to say that you're gonna see a lot of hard work from me and dedication and just gonna be the best leader that I can and best teammate that I can, and excited to do big things with the team and can't wait to see what we're gonna achieve this year.
No doubt. I think we're going to see some amazing things from you and from the entire team. And I cannot wait for December 15th. Home game is going to be so exciting. And again, thank you so much for coming on here, telling us your story. And yeah, I can't wait to catch up with you once the season starts.
Yeah, thank you so much. Me too.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye.